The ability to get on and off the app whenever you want has been one of the key cornerstones on why Uber and Lyft drivers are still independent contractors, and yet at some locations, Uber is starting to tell you you can't log off. You know, if I were a betting man, and maybe I am because I'm in the stock market, although I don't go to Vegas, I would take all of my chips, or most of them anyway, and I would put them on the square that says Uber is going to be regulated. And they are going to get regulated hard. We are going to find out tomorrow, well, maybe not tomorrow, I think maybe Wednesday. We'll find out Wednesday whether or not the AB5 bill passes. And one of the reasons that Uber is protesting it, aside from the fact that it's going to make them, have to do different things so that, we actually are independent contractors, or maybe even treat us as employees or classified. I don't know exactly what the outcome of the AB5 is going to be, other than that it's going to make classifying us as independent contractors a lot harder. Well, Uber doesn't want that. And in all fairness, a lot of drivers don't want that. They want the ability to get on and off, and Uber has been using that claim, that argument. They want to get on and off whenever they want, so that's why this should fail, because they like that ability and they should be allowed to keep it. However, what happens when Uber sends out an email that says you can't do the very thing that you're fighting to do? Well, before we talk about any of that, let's have a word from our sponsors.
And today's video is sponsored by Maximo, the rideshare automation app that allows drivers to safely and easily accept ride requests for Uber, Lyft, and Postmates. Whether you drive for a single platform or multiple platforms, Maximo's custom settings can help you drive more efficient, less distracted, and help you maximize your earnings. It will automatically accept one trip, turn off the other apps, and when your trip is over, it will end it, open the other apps, and accept the next trip, all without you having to touch your phone. Use referral code APP60 and get your first month free when you subscribe to Maximo.
All right, so this email has been sent to many people, and we're going to read it carefully and we're going to discuss it. This is potentially big. Airport requirements include being online at all times. As a reminder, the Metropolitan Washington Airport Authority requires driver partners seeking trips through the Uber app to keep their Uber app open and online at all times while entering and while waiting for trip requests at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport and Dulles International Airport. Or maybe that's Dulles. This includes any time parked in the airport waiting lots. Now, the person who took this screenshot centered this because this is like the important one. Logging off the app in violation of airport regulations may cause you to lose access to trip requests at the airport. In addition, the surge amount on your map will not update for a period of time if you log off at the airport, which may affect your ability to earn more on these trips. Yeah. Okay. Now let's start by giving Uber the benefit of the doubt with this one, because it should be noted that the Washington National Airport, if that sounds familiar, that's because that's where the news stories were written about Uber drivers who were collectively turning off their apps, forcing the surge to go up, and then logging on, thus requiring passengers pay a higher surge fare. Obviously, that brought a lot of bad publicity to the airport, and they were probably told to do something about it. This might be them doing something about it. Also, here's the thing. Uber has been very careful to say this is what the airports want them to do. And maybe they're right. Maybe this is a requirement of the airports. Maybe the airport said, hey, one of the requirements for you to continue servicing us is that your drivers have to stay online on the app while they're at the airport. And they might want to do this for a number of reasons. One, the surge manipulation. They don't want people doing it. And also, maybe there's this thing where it's like they don't want people to be parking in their garages, in their waiting lots, with the app off. Like, hey, if you're going to take up space in those parking lots, you better be working. And from the airport's perspective, that's fair. It absolutely is fair. Here's where the problem is. Because this is coming from Uber, and because the Uber app itself will dictate whether you can get on and off the app and whether or not you will get punished for going on and off the app, that comes off as Uber is controlling the drivers. Once again, and what's amazing is this is kind of the last straw. The thing that keeps the drivers independent contractors is that they can get on and off whenever, wherever they want. Now, Uber might say, well, we're not doing this. It's the airport that's doing it. This is our partnership with the airport. We've got to follow their rules. In which case, I would say, well, Uber, here's the thing. You want to have independent contractors, not employees, as your drivers. And if you want to keep that, you have to tell the airport at that point, we have independent contractors, not employees. We cannot legally tell them that they cannot get off the app. And if you do want to tell them that you cannot get off the app, they need to be employees. So either you have got to tell the airport no, you've got to leave the airport, or you've got to reclassify the drivers as employees. This stuff does not fly. You need to be the protector of the rights of your drivers. If the drivers say they are not employees, you've got to make sure they are not treated as employees. And it's a slippery slope because here's the thing. Right now, the airport is requiring this. But then what comes next? Maybe the airport at some point says, hey, you know what? We've kind of been thinking about it. And the people who your drivers are picking up, they don't like the fact that they are wearing a Rurouni Kenshin t-shirt. They don't even know what Rurouni Kenshin is. It's an awesome manga and anime, by the way, just to let you know. We don't like that. We think that you should start making the drivers wear suits. And so what happens then? Does Uber send an email to the drivers and say, hey, if you're going to be doing pickups and drops at the airport, you have to be wearing a suit. If it is reported that you are not wearing a suit, you risk being deactivated, or your ability to earn money could be cut, like how they're manipulating the surge right here. Well, at that point, the airport's asking Uber, but Uber's not protecting your rights as an independent contractor. And then we have the issue of the surge. Uber has been accused of surge manipulation for a long time. It's kind of funny how they complain that the drivers are doing this when Uber does this just as much themselves. And they claim, no, we're not doing that. We're being completely fair. And yet here it is, black and white. They will not hesitate to not notify you of surge, which could, in theory, impact your earnings. And the way it's worded, I'm not even sure how it would work. When they say we're not reporting that you're earning surge, does that mean, well, the map's not going to show a surge, but if you get a surge ride, you're going to get paid the surge ride? Or is this a case where it's like the surge gets turned off and you don't see it for a little while because you had the audacity to turn the app off while you're in the airport, which, by the way, independent contractor laws totally allow you to do. If I was Uber, here's what I would have done. If the airport came and said, hey, these are our problems, it's like, hey, that's on you to figure out how to deal with those drivers. Yeah, they are on our platform, but they're independent contractors. You have to go to the drivers and say, is your app on? If it's not on, then you have to decide what you are going to do about this. Uber cannot be in a position to tell you you cannot log on and off the app. They can't. It's the only argument they still have that you are an independent contractor, because you can't see the fares up front. You can't negotiate the prices. You don't know who you're picking up. You don't know where they're going. The analogy has been made. This is like if you were an independent contractor painter, but you were told you're going to go to this house and you're going to paint in the house, and you're not told how many rooms you're going to paint, how long it's going to be, or how much money you're going to get for doing it. However, you can accept the paint job or not accept the paint job, and yeah, technically you do that. So yeah, you're still an independent contractor, which is not how it works at all. There's only one thing that's preventing us from being classified as employees right now, and right now Uber is telling people they can't do it. That's a bad position for them to be in. That is a very bad position. And for them to do this a few days before the AB5 bill is going to be voted on, this is insanity. This is a company that is not smart. They are clearly not smart at all. So I don't know what to tell them. I don't know what to tell you. Guys, The regulation's coming. It can't not happen. Look at it. It's right here. They're telling you you can and cannot get off the app. That is the one thing they said they would protect, and they're not even protecting it. If the airport was requiring them to do this, they should say, hey, they should send a notice and say, we're not dealing with this airport anymore because they are requiring you to stay online. We believe you have the flexibility to get on and off, so for the indefinite future, there will be no rides given to this airport, or these two airports. That's what Uber should have done. The fact that they are not doing it shows that they truly do not care about you. And in fact, they're not even thinking about their own well-being. They didn't. I wonder if they even stopped to think how this would look. So there you have it. Uber is officially telling you you can't log off the app if you're at one of these airports. Independent contractor. I have had so many comments on the message boards and saying independent contractor. Exactly. A lot of shaking head gifs. Tuesday's going to be really interesting. I just have to say that. Anyway, what do you folks think about that? Do you think this is trampling on your rights as a Uber driver? Yes, no, if not, or even if yes, what do you think about it? Why? I'd love to know. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way, helping the channel run smoothly, and you get access to my Patreon's exclusive blog. And if gas prices can get you just a little down, check out the Get Upside app below. It's totally free, but you get cash back on every gas purchase. And if you want more content from me, check me out at Kevin T. Rodriguez or the Apptrepreneur Vlogs YouTube channels. It's different content than what you see here. However, you might enjoy it nonetheless. And finally, if you want to talk to me or other fellow rideshare drivers, check us out on Facebook at the Apptrepreneur Hangouts. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.